Hello and welcome to HomeKit Insider. Yes, this is your host, Stephen Robles, and it sounds a little different. Andrew is not here today. We miss him dearly, but he will be back very soon. Don't worry. And yeah, you have me. It's going to be a solo show today. So I want to try and do a bunch of follow-up, kind of talking about listener questions and some listener feedback that we got this week, which is awesome. We do have some HomeKit news. Finally learned how to rename my Apple TVs where they actually stick without that number. And so I want to talk to you about that. And also, I have these SmartWings shades that are thread enabled, and I want to do a review of those later in the show. And this episode is brought to you by ExpressVPN. You'll hear about them in a moment. And so let's jump into some of the listener feedback that we had, some great responses. First of all, this was a Twitter DM. A couple episodes ago, we had called out and said, are there any women HomeKiteers out there? We want to hear from you. And Jenna reached out. She said she is a woman HomeKiteer. And so it's just wonderful to hear from her. And if anyone else out there, lady HomeKiteers, if you're running the smart home, we want to hear about it. And so reach out via DM, on Mastodon, on Threads. So many ways you can reach out. All of that is in the show notes. But she actually had an issue with her level lock. And so if you have a level lock plus, I believe, I'm going to put her question out there to the HomeKiteer audience. You let me know if you might have an answer. But hers is actually randomly closing the lock or locking it while they are outdoors. It said that when her husband leaves, he generally loves the HomeKit devices, but sometimes he'll step out of the house and the level lock will just randomly close or lock. And I don't know if that's a setting. Again, I don't have a level lock myself to test this with. There might be kind of after a certain amount of minutes, it just automatically locks. I'm not sure. Andrew might know that as well, but if you have a level lock out there and it's just automatically locking on you, let us know if there's some kind of solution or setting, and then we can tell Jenna how to fix it. But thanks so much, Jenna, for reaching out. So good to hear from you. And then this next piece of follow-up, this is from Harley. We talked about, I believe, the Maris air purifier a while ago, and I'm kind of curious how well it works. Well, he actually has 3 German Shepherd dogs. Been using the Maris air filter, and said, with all where the dog is, he has multiple of them around the house. And this one is really capturing a lot of the dander, it seems like, from the pets. And so that Maris air purifier is doing the work. And, of course, that is a HomeKit air purifier. So sounds good. That's one of the areas where I've not yet to really test it or have an air purifier on hand. And there's the Air Versa, there's the Maris one right here that we're talking about, and there's also the Molecule with a K. I believe we actually had their CEO a couple of years ago right here on HomeKit Insider. So curious if anyone out there also has an air purifier that is their favorite. Let me know, because I might jump on that. It's about time. I do have a couple of rooms where I want to put air purifiers in. So thanks, Harley, for that DM. And the listener, Ryan Off, he actually has an interesting question. I thought this would be good. We could put out to the HomeKiteers, and I do have a solution for him, and he could try this out. But if you're leaving the home, maybe you're going on vacation or you're going on a trip, he wants to be able to trigger his lights turning on and off at different times, basically to mimic like someone is home. So he's wondering if there's a single button that he could press or a scene that would maybe run a series of automations. Would he need a third-party app for this? And I actually think that you could do this with just shortcuts and HomeKit scenes. And so I was hoping to maybe build this kind of live on the show. I'll try and do my best. If you're watching, you can go to youtube.com/HomeKit Insider, and I'll, of course, describe everything I'm doing. But if you're in your home app, you could create different scenes. And so I'm going to create a scene. We'll do a custom scene. Let's call this vacay. VACAY, as you do. And then you can choose, obviously, different lights to turn on or off. So I'm going to choose my living room main lights. I'm going to say turn on. And then I guess, sometimes when you do automations, you could have it automatically turn off at a certain time. And I'm not sure. So you may have to do one of these schedule things. But what I was going to recommend to Ryan is create a couple different scenes with whatever lights on you kind of want to randomize in your home. So when you're traveling. And so create those scenes in HomeKit. Just have the scenes there. And then go on over to the Shortcuts app, and you can create some time-based automations. And I'll show you here in the Shortcuts, I have a bunch of my automations in here. Let me turn the brightness. Brightness is so hard to get right here on camera. All right, so here we go. We got the brightness. I can add an automation. You can create a home automation for a time of day. And so that might be one you want to run there. And you can... this will happen every day at a certain time. You can run a specific scene. Let me actually go down and choose a specific light. I'm curious if this will work too. you can have a light turn on. Oh, and it does have this. Okay, this is just what I was thinking about. So you can have it turn off after a certain amount of time, all the way up to 4 hours. So if you start in shortcuts, create a home automation, choose some lights or choose a scene to run. You could say turn on every day at 8 a.m. or at 6 p.m. when it turns the evening, and then turn off after a certain amount of hours. And then you can create those automations to run on different days of the week. So you create one, maybe it runs Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You have the lights turn on every evening at 5 p.m., turns off 4 hours later. Then you could have a different automation that runs every Tuesday and Thursday, choose a different set, different scene, so on and so forth. And you can have it kind of mimics randomized lights turning on and turning off. So I think you can do this. I would start in the Shortcuts app, go over to the Automations tab and choose Create Home Automation, choose some lights, have them turn on and then turn off 4 hours later, and create it on those different days. This way you don't have to do anything. You don't even have to like choose, press a button or run a shortcut. It'll just happen on time of day on the days that you program. But you can also use shortcuts, obviously, to run certain HomeKit scenes. And if you do a personal automation, this you can also choose to run at a time of day. So I can choose a personal automation to run at a time of day. Again, it could be daily, weekly, however you want, maybe just at sunset. And for this, you can, of course, add a HomeKit scene. So I can search for a home action, choose that, and choose a home scene to run. Let me go down here. Control the home would be the scene you want to run. But if you actually choose, add multiple of those, then you can kind of choose a random at index command. I believe it's choose from list, and then you can kind of choose a random number. I'm not super familiar with it or confident to do this live on camera as I record. But if you do a random at index and then have the shortcut run every day at 5 p.m., you can let the shortcut choose what random scene to run. You can put 3, 4, 5 different scenes in there. Then every day at that time, it's going to run one of those random scenes with whatever lights you want turning on. So those are a couple solutions for Ryan. And if anyone out there has some solutions for when they're away on vacation, how they randomize their home to do those kinds of things, we'd love to hear from you. One more listener feedback, and then we'll get to some news. This was from Paul. He wrote us an email. Last week we talked about the Level Lock Plus and how they're adding some new colors, namely a brass color. And we had a couple listeners reach out. They were excited about those new colors, some literally waiting for the brass color, which is cool. Well, Paul actually got it, installed it, and one of the things we saw on the Level Lock website is that the HomeKey card that appears on your iPhone seems to be color matched to the HomeKey that you bought, your Level Lock color. And sure enough, Paul got the brass model, it looks like. He sent us a screenshot of his HomeKey in the Wallet app, and sure enough, it is a brass-colored HomeKey card on his iPhone to match the brass-colored Level Lock. Really cool. Another listener, I think, reached out, actually got a black one. Curious what happens if you switch locks. I imagine you would get a different HomeKey for a different lock, and then that could be color-matched. But just a really nice touch seeing those color-matched home keys for the Level Lock. So if you get one of those, I'd love to see a picture of it or send us a screenshot of the color of your home key. It looks very cool. All right, one more follow-up about the Apple TV naming convention, and then we'll hit some of our news and then the SmartWings review. I've just been so annoyed with the Apple TV name and then the parentheses and then the digit, which I expressed, and so many of you, I think, replied also like, yes, that is one of the most annoying things. Well, turns out changing it on the physical Apple TV does nothing, it seems like. If you change the name on your Apple TV in the settings app, it just always reverts back seemingly with that parentheses and the number. Well, turns out if you go to the Home app on your iPhone or iPad, let me go to a particular room. Oh, I have a light not responding. How do you like that? That's at the top of my list there. If I go to, let's say, the bedroom TV, your Apple TV will show up here in the Home app because it is a home device. So there you see bedroom TV here. Well, if I tap and hold on it there, choose accessory details. And you know what? Now that I'm doing this, I wonder if a listener told us about this before. If you did, let me know. I apologize because I forgot. But if you change the name of the TV here in the device details in the Home app, I did this a few days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, on multiple televisions, and it seems like it has stuck. The little number with the parentheses has not reappeared for any of the Apple TVs in the house. And if I go to my Apple TV remote and control center, here you'll see my long list of Apple TVs all over the house, no parentheses and no number. Look at this, all just clean names, no weird numbers in parentheses. I think it has stuck, and I did this to about 3 or 4 of them, and they've all worked. My office one had a parentheses and number before. The bedroom one did as well. So it seems like changing the Apple TV name in the Home app under accessory details can finally make it stick. Now, I've also named the Apple TVs a different name than the room they're in. So I have a room called Master Bedroom, and that's what the room name is in the Home app. And I think when I tried to call the Apple TV Master Bedroom or Master Bedroom TV, that's when I got that parenthesis. So I actually changed the name. Same here in the studio. I'll show you once again in the Home app that I have. If I go to my studio room, you'll see down at the Apple TV, I actually named it Office. I have an Office Apple TV there. I think if I try to name it Studio, it'll do that parentheses too because it sees 2 studio names in there. But if you just name it something different than the room, if it's a bedroom, maybe call it Bedroom TV or, Bed TV, whatever, Apple TV. But it seems like changing the name and making it unique in the Home app lets it stick. And I don't have the parentheses and number anymore. Very grateful for that. Just recommending that to try out if you had that same frustration that I do. So that's renaming Apple TVs. Thanks all for the listener feedback. Keep it coming this week. Let us know what projects and questions you have. And HomeKiteers, if you have answers to what you say, I can say HomeKiteers, and Andrew's not here to correct me or say something different. And so look at that. HomeKiteers. Let me know if you have any answers for our fellow HomeKiteers on it. Now, before we get to some HomeKit news, I do want to tell you about our one sponsor today, ExpressVPN. And here's the deal. I actually used this when I was traveling just last month. I don't even know if I talked about this yet because I'm not sure if they've been on the spot. But I was in another country. I was in Tel Aviv, actually, and I wanted to stream something on HBO Max. And for some reason, excuse me, it's not HBO Max, it's just Max right now. And for some reason, when I tried to stream it on my hotspot or the hotel Wi-Fi, for some reason, it seemed like that content was blocked in that country. So you know what I did? Well, I fired up the ExpressVPN app, chose the United States, make it look like I was tuning in from the U.S. And guess what? It played on my iPad Pro flawlessly, didn't have any issues blocking the content, and that's the power of ExpressVPN. And also, you have a VPN that you can trust in ExpressVPN. I use it personally on my iPhone, my iPad. I have full confidence. ExpressVPN, it's the best VPN on the market. It's just the easiest to use as well. I've helped friends and family set it up. ExpressVPN doesn't log your activity online. Lots of those cheaper free VPNs, they make money by selling your data to advertisers. ExpressVPN does not do this. They have a technology called Trusted Server. It makes their VPN servers incapable of storing any data. And ExpressVPN is super fast and now uses Lightway, a new VPN protocol they engineered to make user speeds faster than ever. And I was able to, listen, I had slow internet over there. It was like 5 megabits down or less. And I was still able to stream that content on Max with no issue in HD. It wasn't all pixelated or anything. And so I was able to do that even using ExpressVPN. And it's super easy to use. Like I said, you don't need any technical skills. You open the app. There's one big power button just to press right there on the screen, and you're good to go. And it's not just me saying this. CNET, Business Insider, The Verge, many other tech journals rate ExpressVPN the #1 VPN in the world. So protect yourself or stream yourself with that wasn't part of it. I just said that. With the VPN that I use and trust, I just used it. Use my link, expressvpn.com/HKI today, and get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. That's expressvpn.com/HKI, expressvpn.com/HKI to learn more. Our thanks to ExpressVPN for helping me stream my Max content overseas. If you want to know what I was watching the Smartless live tour, a little 6-episode docuseries. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed watching that at night over there. So anyway, that's what I was watching on Max. All right, a little bit of HomeKit news, and then I want to talk about my SmartWings shades that I got and installed last week. First of all, this is I'm going to try and switch my cameras here with my Stream Deck pedal. Here we go. Nature Remo Nano. It's an IR Blaster, now Matter compatible. And so this is, I'm not sure it's available in the U.S. just yet. I did not see any kind of link to Amazon. There is a link to their website we will put in the show notes. You might be able to get it from there. But if you want an IR Blaster, let me click over to English. If you want an IR Blaster, maybe to control like an AC unit, maybe a TV or a video receiver, this is now Matter compatible. And because it's Matter, you can get it right into the Home app without issue, and I've actually been pairing a couple Matter devices around here. It's actually been working pretty well. So I'll give Matter some credit there, and if you need an IR blaster, you can get something like this. I've not had a need for an IR blaster recently. I actually had the Switchbot Hub 2, which we can talk about Switchbot in a second. Theirs is also an IR blaster, but everything's been working pretty well. My Apple TV has been controlling my home theater receiver. I don't have any air units necessarily, although we do have an exterior shed that we're going to be putting an air unit in. Might need an IR blaster for that, so we'll check it out. Maybe I'll try this or move the Switchbot Hub out there. But anyway, so that's the Nano Remo IR Blaster with Matter support. And then, speaking of Switchbot, this is an exciting update. The Switchbot Lock, which came out a while ago, this has been out for at least over a year, but you can now use this lock with Matter, meaning you can get it into Apple Home. You do need the Switchbot app. You do need the Switchbot Hub 2, which brings Matter support to all these Switchbot devices, and you have to update the firmware, but you can use the Switchbot Lock now with Matter and in the Home app. You will not get Apple Home Key with this. Again, you need something like the Level Lock plus the Schlage Encode or the Aqara. Those are the three that support Home Key right now. So no Home Key, but you do have a lock that you can control in the Apple Home app. And so pretty cool, Switchbot Lock now with Matter support, and you can use it right in the Home app. Very cool. I'm going to clear my throat here. Pause for interstitial music in 5, 3. I'm just kidding. I'm already back. You don't even have to wait that long. So those are the news. Now, I would like to talk about some smart shades to review, and then we'll wrap it up. And again, send your listener questions and projects you got going on. So SmartWings, it is a, I think, new-ish brand. I'm not exactly sure when they kind of jumped on the scene, but SmartWings makes smart shades compatible with pretty much everything. HomeKit, Alexa, Google Assistant, SmartThings, and they're honestly more affordable than a lot of other smart shades options. And I actually have, right off to the side, I've talked about them before, I have some Eve motion blinds. It's the blackout shades and also thread enabled. Really enjoy those. Those were great. But if you need a lot of windows, or if you have large windows, it can definitely get a little pricey when you're getting smart shades. And so SmartWings, a little more affordable smart shades. And I do like when you buy the smart shades from SmartWings, when you choose all the different specifics. And I'll show you the exact one I got. I have these SmartWings, and I'll show you a couple video clips of my specific shades in a moment. These are the ones I got. These are the SmartWings Motorized Light Filter Roller Shades, 70% blackout. So this is not a full blackout shade. Still lets some light in, but it looks really nice. It comes in multiple colors. I went with the Midnight, which is kind of a darkish gray, but has a nice texture. But what I like is when you order these, there's lots of different options. Okay, you can get things like the solar panel, if you want to have a solar panel that keeps it charged. Obviously, you put in your measurements and motor type. This is what's cool. This is an extra charge. It's $80 to add Apple HomeKit, and then but it's also, you can get Zigbee, you can get Alexa for $30, Z-Wave for $55. So HomeKit is the most expensive motor option, but again, overall these are more affordable. So it's all right. And I also like that I'm choosing the Apple Home motor, and it's not like it's compatible with Alexa and Google thing. Like, it's not compatible with all of those. When I get the ones that I order, they're just Apple Home with Thread, which is pretty cool. Lots of different options for the valance. I got the ones that have this kind of square cover over it so you don't see the roller shade behind it. You can choose to get the bottom bar wrapped in fabric. And again, lots of other options. The remote that comes with the SmartWings is actually very nice. I appreciated that. But I'll tell you what, let me actually show you just a quick video snippet, and I'll talk over it, of my smart shades. These right here, let me switch over. These are the SmartWings shades that I installed here. Again, that's the color in Midnight. You can see them rolling down there. If you're watching this episode on YouTube, there's a larger window. The large window I got, it's actually about 80 inches wide and 7 inches tall. You're seeing double of me. That's me talking up there. But anyway, there you go. You see the two windows that I got the smart shades. Again, both very large windows and surprisingly light. The shades are actually surprisingly light in weight for that. And again, just really enjoyed installing these were very easy. You know, I'm distracting myself with my own video. So installing these was really easy. 3 brackets. The brackets, they include, really intuitive actually. It's like a spring-loaded clip on one side of the bracket. So when you screw these into your window frame, and you can mount it inside the frame or outside, you specify that when you order it. And when you screw these in, they include anchors if it's wood or drywall. Screw them into your window frame, and then to install the shade, you literally just kind of push it on one side because they're like the spring loaded on the front, and then you just clip the back side in. Honestly, just clicks right in. Installation even easier than the motion blinds that I installed before. So love the installation process. Set up HomeKit code right on the shade. There's 2 stickers. There's one on the shade and the one on the top of the valance. Obviously, you're going to take the one off the shade, but there's still one on the top. And pro tip, I didn't realize this before. If you take a picture of a HomeKit code, and maybe this has always been the case, I just didn't know. I take pictures of all my HomeKit codes, and I save my HomeKit codes in HomePass. Excellent app by Aaron Pierce, and I back up all my HomeKit codes that way. But if you have a HomeKit code on, you took a picture of it, if you tap and hold on that HomeKit code in your photos of just the photo you took, you can just open that code in Home and pair it right away. I didn't realize you could tap and hold on that QR code in a photo. I thought like you were going to have to scan it or put in the number. So the pairing process was very quick. Again, these are thread enabled, and the thread control is super fast. I would say even faster than the motion blinds that I have for whatever reason. If I do the control in the Home app on my iPhone, if I press the shade, it is literally a second or less, and it is already moving. So very fast response time when I'm controlling it physically in the app. You can also control it with Siri and the SmartWings remote that I mentioned. So controlling it with Siri, you're going to have to be waiting a few seconds for Siri to think about what you're saying and then send the control. But doing the control in the Home app, just super fast. So really like that. You can also control where it is opening to, the percentage open, and you can ask Siri that too. You could say open 50% or open halfway. It can parse either of those commands, and it does a great job with that. So the control, connectivity, super easy. Battery-wise, it's supposed to last multiple months. There's a USB-C port on the shade, and I charge it typically with like a power bank. I have a Mophie power bank that I'll bring over. They did include a rather long USB cable to charge, which is nice, but it's USB-C on one end and USB-A on the other, which is like kind of meh. Like I don't want USB-A. I want it just USB-C on both sides, and that's what my power bank is. But I appreciate the long cable, extra long cable they included with it. I charged it up before installation, and they've been good. I mean, I was doing a lot of up and down testing as I was making the video for them. But I'll go to the shades to let you know what the battery percentage is at right now. It was at like 90% the other day. Here we go. If I open it up, hit the gear icon, well, my one of the shades is still at 100% battery. So that battery is doing amazing. And then the other one, let me check the percentage on that, 89%. And that one I was definitely testing more, kind of going up and down. But I think it's safe to say it'll last several months. Again, charging with a power bank, or if you have an outlet near it, you can use that extra long cable they include. Good to go. Love the design. Again, blocks out 70% of light. And Smart Shades does have some other options like 100% blackout shades, vinyl. So if it's something for a studio or you really just want to get it 100% blacked out, you could totally do that. And they have really cool other kinds of options. They have the cellular shades, they have zebra shades, and then woven wood shades. And so if you want kind of like that bamboo look of woven wood shades, maybe you got like a beach house, that'd be pretty cool. Lots of different color options for the wood as well. And any of their shades, there is the HomeKit option with thread. So you can get that HomeKit HomeKit or Apple Home and thread motor on any of their shades. And it's super nice. I mean, I really enjoyed it. So if you're looking for smart shades, just to give you a comparison, if you get the same size smart shade and for motion blinds, the Eve motion blinds, and I got mine through Select Blinds. I know there's a couple different places you can get them at, but I got mine through Select Blinds. If you get the same size window for both, I have to find my my SmartWings shades here. I just updated the Bear app, which Bear 2.0 is wonderful, let me just say. But anyway, same size shade, the 80-inch wide by 70-inch tall, you're going to be paying $750 for Eve motion blinds. That was also on sale. It could be all the way up to over $1,000. Whereas the SmartWings shade for the same size window is about $500. So you're saving several $100s with them both on sale. And if the Eve motion blind is not on sale, you're saving many hundreds of dollars. So great, affordable option for smart shades. Highly recommend. I've had them for a little, maybe almost 2 weeks now, as I've been testing them, and I really enjoy them. The family enjoys them. I've been programming it with some buttons too, so I have some scenes that'll run for the morning and the evening, so someone can press a button, the lights turn on in the living room, and the shades open, and it's just so cool. I feel like smart shades is one of the most fun smart home devices you can get, and when you show it to people, it's just it's impressive, but it's also like, I want that. And now I kind of want them for my bedroom and everywhere. And because they're more affordable, you could do it. Again, it is still hundreds of dollars. You know, when you talk about like a HomeKit plug being 20 or 30 bucks, it is not that inexpensive. But if you want to do smart shades, maybe you're building a house, remodeling, it's a great option. They also have like the floor to ceiling, whatever you call those, the not shade, drapery. They have a whole drapery category where you can get like cover some huge sliding glass doors and anything like that. And they also have the HomeKit motor for those as well. So, I was thinking the other day, what happens when these batteries like die? I mean, I guess you just have to replace it. Hopefully it's many years from now. This should last months and months, and then upon recharging last for years. But, eventually I'm sure you're going to have to replace it. But these working great. Batteries really well. Thread connectivity is super fast, reliable. Pairing it was quick, and installation was easy. Really not enough good things to say about it. I really like the SmartWings shades. The remote is really high quality, so highly recommend. I'll put a link to the SmartWings website in the show notes as well, so you can check those out. And yeah, we'll put links to everything we talked about. Thanks so much for tuning in. And again, Andrew will be back soon. Would love to hear from you, whether you're on Twitter, Mastodon, Threads. I'd say Blue Sky, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not really checking that app. So sorry, I'm just not. But the other three, for sure, you can also email us. All that information is in the show notes. Thank you all for listening, for watching the show. And again, we hope to hear from you in the comment section and on social media, and hear what HomeKit projects you got going on. So thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.